President Trump and the First Lady hosted a trick-or-treat event at what's left of the White House. And this is one of my favorite things that the president does because it's so clear he never trick-or-treated once in his life.
Japan's new Prime Minister Sanai Takachi said during a press conference that she is nominating President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. And I can't believe I get to say this, but thank God nobody listens to women.
Hosted a trick-or-treat event at what's left of the White House. And this is one of my favorite things that the president does because it's so clear he never tricked or treated once in his life. Man's new Prime Minister Sai Takachi said during a press conference that she is nominating President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. And I can't believe I get to say this, but thank God nobody listens to women. Being roasted by comedians is one thing. Being completely torn apart by Colin Joe and Michael Che is something else entirely. These two treats presidency like an endless sketch, always on the verge of cancellation, yet somehow still airing. Together, they've turned America's political chaos into their own favorite sitcom, starring a president who confuses chaos with charisma and bewilderment with leadership. This isn't just comedy anymore. It's national group therapy with punchlines sharper than executive orders.
President Trump met with Chinese President Xi Jinping. When asked how the meeting went, Trump said this.
But overall, I guess on the scale from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, I would say the meeting was a 12.
I guess Trump just wanted to show China we're still way worse at math.
So President Trump are calling him tone deaf for posting pictures of his newly renovated White House bathroom during the government shutdown. But I'm happy that the floor looks slippery.
Every day under Trump feels like a rerun nobody asked for. The scandals blur together like poorly executed improv, and the script's always in the same way. Trump declaring victory in a disaster of his own making. It's performance art without the art. Just endless performance and non-stop applause for himself.
In his first term, here's how he gave candy to a kid dressed as a minion. Melania's just like, I guess that is how it's done. And then again this year, he did it to a kid dressed as DJ Marshmallow. Just put it in the bag. Why is he so weird? Even the kid is like, this is not right. It's kind of an embodiment of his entire presidency because it's just a violation of norms that no other president or person has ever conceived.
Che, meanwhile, treats Trump's presidency like a stand-up routine that's gone on way too long. He doesn't need props. Trump supplies all the material. The daily contradictions, the self-congratulations, the impulsive decisions delivered like fast food orders. Che paints the administration as a 24-hour news buffet of bad ideas. Each dish served with a generous side of confusion.
Volodymyr Zelensky has said that if President Trump provides Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles, he will nominate Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. You know, the prize they give you for selling missiles. There was outrage that another alleged drug smuggling boat from Venezuela has been blown out of the water without warning. And you may not think that's a big deal right now, but one day soon, you'll look at yourself in the mirror and realize you're out of cocaine.
Joe turns to Trump's favorite pastime, declaring everything the best economy, the best leadership, the best whatever he just saw on a cue card. It's like listening to a game show contestant who doesn't realize the buzzer already rang. Every success is blown out of proportion. Every failure blamed on invisible enemies. And every speech feels like a motivational seminar for people who skip the fine print.
Like, who's ever thought I should put the candy on the kid's head? My favorite part, though, was when Trump and Melania made a grand entrance to this song. Michael Jackson's Thriller. Just the perfect soundtrack to lure kids to a famous mansion.
Che takes it further, turning Trump's press briefings into a masterclass in unintentional comedy. He pictures them as open mic nights where the jokes are the facts and the audience laughs just to survive. Chase shows that Trump doesn't inform the nation. He performs for it. spinning disasters into triumphs and confusion into confidence. He compares Trump's press conferences to late-night infomercials, loud, repetitive, and somehow always ending with a pitch for himself.
President Trump criticized Time magazine for using a bad picture of him on the cover, saying, quote, "They disappeared my hair." And I gotta agree, that thing do look waxed.
Trump's obsession with loyalty turns his staff into contestants on The Apprentice White House edition, where surviving another week is the only prize. Jost compares it to a boss who keeps silencing the smoke alarm during a fire. Che digs into Trump's relationship with facts. He treats them as obstacles, sawing the truth in half and rewriting reality on the fly. It's not lying Che jokes. It's creative nonfiction by someone allergic to reality checks. Then there's his social media addiction. Early morning posts, impulsive outbursts, caps lock confidence. It's like watching a teenager run a country from his bedroom. Scrolling reactions like a comedian ignoring bad reviews. Every tweet becomes a declaration. Every typo a national emergency. Jost calls it government by Wi-Fi, where diplomacy happens one post at a time, sometimes with emojis.
While traveling on Air Force One to the Middle East to celebrate the ceasefire, President Trump told reporters, "I don't think there's anything that's going to get me into heaven." Then he paused for 10 full minutes, waiting for someone to say, "That's not true." Because Trump can't go to heaven. He's far too busy down here, running hell.
Che can't resist turning Trump's rallies into punchline gold. Endless monologues, looping slogans, choreographed outrage. A theater where standing ovations are proof of good policy. He jokes they feel less like speeches and more like pep talks from a motivational cult leader selling matching hats. Trump plays the role like he's allergic to silence. Joe takes on the economy, always booming, even when it's wobbling like a magic trickware. The numbers are borrowed from tomorrow. Trump brags about stock highs while ignoring debt, spinning optimism on credit, the only truly thriving industry. Che turns Trump's business bravado into comedy, showing he runs a country like a real estate venture. Big branding, little building. Every plan sounds great until basic math kicks in and enthusiasm replaces execution. The result, a nation constantly pitched big ideas that vanish faster than campaign promises.
The Middle East are crediting President Trump with brokering the Israel-Hamas ceasefire, but it makes perfect sense to me because sometimes crazy people only listen to other crazy people. Like when you see a guy jacketed on the subway, you don't just ask him to stop. No, you got to take off your pants too, and now we can negotiate. President Trump has reportedly become concerned with Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene criticizing Republicans on key issues, with Trump asking, "What's going on with Marjorie?" Little advice, bro. Just let her go. You can't change her. God knows I've tried.
Joe shifts to Trump's crisis handling. Natural disasters, scandals, global chaos. The pattern never changes. Deny, deflect, declare victory. He compares it to a kid insisting he didn't break the vase while standing in a pile of glass. Accountability isn't shocking anymore. It's expected, like the plot twist in a bad sequel. Che points out how Trump thrives on outrage, juggling controversies to distract from the last one. Every outburst, tweet storm, or manufactured feud drowns out the silence that might reveal the emptiness underneath his theater of chaos. With the audience trapped inside, Joe turns to diplomacy, photo ops, handshakes, exaggerated claims, and historic deals. He jokes Trump treats world leaders like Instagram influencers, collecting meetings like selfies. The spectacle overshadows substance. A man who treats diplomacy as a group project but forgets to read the assignment.
Update with some good news. For once, there is peace in the Middle East. The only downside is there's war in Chicago. Only Trump could Freaky Friday Chicago and Gaza. And I know Trump is upset that he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize, but the last guy to send heavily armed men into an American city was Bane from Batman. It was awarded this week to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, or as Fox News reported it, Trump robbed by deranged Hispanic.
Che adds fuel, calling Trump's global reputation a cautionary tale and overconfidence. He imagines other leaders treating him like the co-worker who talks loudly but never reads a memo. Che mocks the over-the-top nationalism, constant self-praise, and belief that bluster equals respect. Every claim of strength only highlights insecurity. Jost dives into Trump's media saga, a love-hate relationship that makes toxic exes look stable. He craves attention, but hates accountability like a man arguing with his reflection. Ironically, he needs the media more than they need him. Outrage is his oxygen. Headlines his heartbeat. Che calls him the influencer-in-chief, turning every crisis into content, every scandal into marketing. Trump doesn't want truth. He wants traffic, running the country like an algorithm that thrives on engagement. Governance through outrage works only because people keep watching.
President Trump, while on his trip, said that Iran has sort of agreed to terms for a nuclear deal in the same way Trump has sort of agreed to uphold the Constitution. Many people in Saudi Arabia were very happy with President Trump's visit to the country because rich Saudis love to fly out thick blondes.
Joke skewers Trump's obsession with personal loyalty over national loyalty, pointing out that agreeing with him, even against reality, is the only way to survive. He compares it to a group project where the leader erases everyone's answers and insists only he's right. Dysfunction wrapped in delusion. Che digs into Trump's insecurity where every criticism feels like betrayal and every compliment a bribe. Emotional autocracy where feelings outweigh facts. Joe moves to the pandemic portraying policies as a dark comedy of errors. Science ignored, experts sidelined. Solutions replaced by slogans. The satire lands because it's true. Refusal to listen turned crisis into catastrophe. Like trying to cure a fever by yelling at the thermometer.
Well, President Trump traveled to the Middle East this week, and if I were him, I would have just stayed there because it looked awesome. Trump arrived in Saudi Arabia where he was greeted with a lavender carpet which matched the color of his tie and also the length. They also rolled out a mobile McDonald's truck for President Trump's visit, featuring Saudi Arabia's most popular new burger, the McJournalist.
Che turns it into social commentary, showing how Trump's refusal to face facts exposed a national weakness. Our habit of confusing confidence with competence. Joe calls it main character syndrome on a national scale. Success is exaggerated, failures rebranded, truths buried under self-praise. Che doubles down, imagining Trump narrating history like he invented it. Every law, every event, every breath of wind about him. America has political burnout. Che jokes, and the cure might be silence. Joe revisits the economy, contrasting Trump's promises with outcomes. Inflated numbers, widening gaps, and spin masking cracks. Economics by confidence trick. Everything looks great until the lights come on. Success built on borrowed applause. Che adds that Trump's financial storytelling is like pitching a get-rich-quick scheme to the whole country. Every announcement a sales pitch, every setback a conspiracy, and a lifetime spent selling a product that never ships.
Order giving refugee status to white people from South Africa. I could have sworn that white people had it good in South Africa. Must be the Mandela effect. The Trump administration announced that after face-to-face talks with China, it is lowering tariffs from 145% to 30%, which is a little like OJ bragging about taking the knife out.
Joe takes on Trump's relationship with the truth one last time. Constant denials, shifting stories, relentless spin, a soap bubble factory of nonsense. The only consistent thing is inconsistency. Facts enter his orbit and immediately disintegrate. Jay closes in on Trump's psyche, the need for validation, fear of irrelevance, constant rewriting of his own narrative. His biggest enemy isn't the media or critics, it's reality itself. Joe compares the presidency to an improv show with no ending. The cast keeps changing, the jokes fall flat, and the audience can't look away. Che adds darkly that Trump isn't just a symptom. He's a mirror reflecting a country that mistakes noise for power, fame for leadership, and spectacle for strength. Their roast isn't cruel. It's surgical and cathartic. Behind every joke is a warning. This isn't normal. And laughter might be the only way to stay sane. Trump may still hold office, but in the court of comedy, the verdict is clear. And this time, the punchline carries more power than the podium.